Stay ahead of the game.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. It's been some time since we've been to Spa, and it's also been some time since we've used this car. We've had a request overnight asking for a clarification of the setup because it's not working. So we're going to quickly do a quick review, then we'll do the race again, and this will be one of your videos for this week. Hopefully this will entice people to come and do a bit of a grind, because Spa is a grind race. This is a very suitable car to be able to go and use. This is the Audi RS5 touring car, and it has DRS, so it's interesting to use. And it also is shod with a very lovely skin created by JB at JB Designs. Thank you very much, JB. Hope you're enjoying your holiday. So settings will be on racing soft tyres at 799.94 pp with 452 brake horsepower. We've got the fully customizable suspension, everything default, nothing changed. Fully customizable diff with the rear set to 555. Best and easiest way to control the rear end of any car. Downforce on the front will be 730. 1000 on the rear, as you can see, it's everything on the rear. And 730, which is just over halfway on the front. Fully customizable ECU set to the full 100. As you can see there, the brake horsepower goes all the way up to best part of 9,000 RPM, but the torque runs out at around about half that, maybe just less, around about 4,500. So this could work out as a short shift of this car if it changes back into the rev range, drops into the rev range when you change gear. This will short shift quite nicely, I would think. Fully customizable manual transmission to save PP there, set to 330. We have the normal turbocharger. We haven't picked either. Anti-lag is off. We've got everything set. Front brake balance to -3. Got no purchased add-ons. Nothing else. That's your lot. Let's just check in GT Auto for custom parts. The only thing we can do on here is put the rear. It's the rear wing. You can see it's just a couple of fins. Will that take us over the PP? Shouldn't affect aero at all, that, should it really? One wouldn't have thought so. No, we're still at 79.94. Wheels wise, generally don't think I've changed anything. Original wheels look to be as they are. So yeah, standard original wheels and nothing changed. Now, as it says there, it's a limited time of 60 minutes for this race. It's a rough simulation of the Spa 24-hour race inside 1 hour. We are going to be racing for 1 hour, and we're going to hope to get the clean race bonus. That's going to put us somewhere around 1.5 million for 1 hour of racing. And there aren't many races that give you that opportunity to earn that amount of credits. Now, let's just have a quick review of what we've got. Settings wise, assists, we're going to be on traction control 1, default ABS, and everything else off except for counter steer assistance, which we're going to put on strong. You're going to ask me why I'm using them. This is grinding. It's got to be easy. Who wants to go 45 minutes and then crash and have to start again? You want to be able to get to the end. It makes grinding easier. This isn't a demonstration of my skill or not. This is about making it easy. My controller settings. On force feedback max torque 7, force feedback sensitivity 10. I'm on steering set 4 on my setup. No, I'm not. I'm on steering setup 5 on my wheel, which is basically another YouTuber's setup. It's his digits. We're just trying out setups to find out which one I want more of. As it is, I'm on a Fanatec DD Extreme. No, I'm on a Fanatec DD with a GT Extreme wheel. I've got version 3 pedals, they're inverted. And that's really about it. We're against a full field of GR3 cars, so we expect to be doing very, very well. In the settings, we're going to change to mediums to make sure we get through to the first patch of rain. We could go and soft and push it a little bit harder, but we anticipate this rain is going to come pretty much the same as it does every race, roughly about the same time. It does change, so don't quote me on it. There is the opportunity that it rains very little certain times. We've done this race a lot of times, and the result is 99% out of 100 a good win. Let's see where we go. Let's make a start. As you can see, DRS is enabled on the car. Steering feels quite heavy, but very controlled in this vehicle. Doesn't feel very, very quick though. 6 gears it has. Gearing feels really quite long, but the Porsche gives us some room. Could be able to win this race really quite easily without having to worry too much about getting past these cars. I'd say GR3 and touring cars are pretty even in pace, I would suggest. Let's hit the DRS and try and go for the pass. Mr. Wilk umming and ahhing about whether to defend the line or not. The Solis up next. Coming round to roughly 3/4 of the lap of the Spa circuit. We're about to hit the fastest, well, the second fastest part of the circuit after top route, after Eau Rouge. Downforce back in. Solis might just get out of the way. He doesn't. He accelerates away. So we get DRS back at 90 mile an hour. A brake on the 100 here. Much better brakes than the GR3 cars. Waiting for that DRS to catch in. I short shift a little bit as we discussed. Mr. Solis has got a little bit of pace on me there, but can't reach. I can shift a gear down. I can hardly reach the lever though when I've got my finger on it. Mr. Bishop makes the pass back. Dive down under braking. The car in front, Mr. Ordonez, just leaves the circuit and makes his way back on. Little tap there from Mr. Rubbelard, just letting me know he's on my 6. Up into 13th place, some 23 seconds behind the leader. It's a lovely evening here in Spa. The sun is just rattling on down, keeping the track warm, and the tyres are up to speed and wearing quite well, evenly front to back. Mr. McEwen in 12th, just gonna dispatch him as he makes his way up onto the curb. Cutting through traffic nicely here, making our way up to Mr. Mendoza in the Aston. I'm going to leave my thumb in on the DRS this time. Much easier. Didn't need to lift off. Try and squeeze past so we can make the turn in on the second apex. There we go. RS just hits at 90. 22 seconds behind. Fastest lap of the race was with Mr. Fraga. 2:18 at this time. That's a nice fast lap, isn't it? 2:18.297. This could be a bit of a race. Could have fitted a turbo. We're going to try this non-turbo with decent fuel. Turbo might have really helped us get to the end of the straight much quicker, but we're trying to make it interesting and competitive. Not trying to do the setups like I've done them before. If we're repeating races for the new setups, I'm not just going to recreate video after video and make it the same content. We're going to do different things. So a non-turbo approach is interesting. Makes it a much closer, much more competitive race. See if we can find some time. It is turbocharged, but it's got a normal turbo rather than a modified one. Mr. Cookable just closes that line up, sees me diving in. I'll try and make the slide past here. Oh, inside maybe? Yes, we got him there. Mr. Miyazano in the Subaru. It's certainly looking quick. Mr. Gallo in 6th. Yamanaka 5th. Once we get past 6th place, we'll see the entire leaderboard. Gonna go round the outside here if we can make it. There we go, diving round. So Fraga leads, fastest lap of the race at 2:18.297. Followed by Mr. Beauvoir. Mr. Portilla in 3rd, Grady in 4th, that's Tijni. Yamanaka in 5th. We're in 6th, 20 seconds behind the leader, some 20.366. Slowly our fastest lap improves. Mr. Gallo in 7th. Piazzano in 8th. As we come down the hill towards Eau Rouge, we're now on to lap 4. The leaders are certainly ahead. That makes sense, doesn't it? We get the draft off Mr. Yamanaka. No 7th gear, so we're just cruising up to him. New leaders, Beauvoir and Fraga, really are ahead. Mr. Cookabin just not wanting us to have everything our way, which I can understand. Well, Mr. Grady just leaves the circuit in front of us, manages to hold on to it. Mr. Cookabin has to give it up eventually. Mr. Grady's got some acceleration, look at him go. It's decent. Take him up the right, bit of DRS. We're in, good grip off these soft medium tyres. He tried to come back at us. I wonder if he's just pushing on fuel. Shouldn't be, not at this stage of the race. We're a bit quicker there. We had a good run down the fast straight, didn't we? But this should be something in the 2019 region, one would expect. DRS just to help things along. Could have used that a lot earlier. As the fuel weight drops off, we're going to get quicker naturally. So if you're new to the game and you're struggling with this circuit, this is one of the longest circuits in the game. It is very much a regular in the daily races. Very popular circuit. So I'd advise doing the circuit experience. Try and find your fastest line. Try and find a line that's repeatable. something you do in a lot of cars, because these races you'll want to race lots of different cars. I've probably got 30 to 40 videos of cars going around this circuit already. Our last lap was a 2:18.226. Beauvoir got the fastest lap though this time, a 2:17.369. And we need to just keep pushing on to try and get that. Yeah, so as I was saying, if you're new to the game and this circuit is a struggle for you, all I can say is just go and put laps in, lap after lap after lap. There's many time trials here, so if you've not got to the end of the license tests and done S10 yet, this will help you towards S10, because there's going to be rain in this race and there's going to be the opportunity for you to do lots of laps. So whilst I say we're going to have rain, we're also going to have multiple types of conditions, from drying track to nighttime wet track, a wet track in the morning, a drying track in the morning. Certainly all sorts of conditions for you to try and drive in. We're just about to get to the podium spot. Oh, Mr. Portilla just loses it there, just as we get our first purple to indicate that we were on for a fast lap. So Mr. Portilla just takes away our opportunity. We've got damage on the front there. The front splitter took an impact there as we bumped into Mr. Portilla, which is a shame, but we'll put in a relatively decent lap time anyway and try and get that next time round. What we need to do, knowing we've got 7 laps of fuel left, the tyres are looking pretty good. We're going to go to the rain radar. There's the rain radar, let's bring that up. Let's wait for the first rain to come in. Now we kept the DRS down and the throttle flat to the floor all the way through Eau Rouge. So let's see if we can catch Portilla and make up for that last lap. We're still 19.5 seconds behind the leaders. We've only made up half a second over the last 2 or 3 laps, which isn't tremendously good. Let's keep pushing. Fraga and Beauvoir are battling it out up front. They're changing leader. They're swapping it between them. Well, naturally, Beauvoir seems to have made a bit of a run on Fraga. They were both way out front at one point. As the twilight starts, the evening is drawing in now. Nighttime is clearly on its way. Headlights look to be on. We're soon to see lights come on around the circuit. And we'll be in the full nighttime conditions. No rain on the radar as yet. Kind of anticipate it will come. Nothing is guaranteed here. Use any DRS in that part of the circuit. Gone purple by 1.3 seconds, so that's superbly quick. That looks like a 2:15. That'd be a great lap. I think it might be 1.3 better than our lap time, so that'll actually be a 2:17 dead. No, it's a 2:15.3. That's a really good lap time. The circuit lights just popped on. Night time is on its way. We're 1.5 seconds behind Fraga now for second place. That's him in front of us. Now we're chasing Beauvoir down. He's 13 seconds ahead. Still no rain on the radar. The leader has just gone through the chicane at the end of here. The reduced fuel weight is certainly making a difference. The lap times. The evening is drawing in, so the track is getting cooler. And the darkness is upon us. You can see the circuit ahead of us at certain parts of the circuit. You can see it in the distance, and you can also see car lights disappearing around the circuit from other cars. We went wide a bit there. Kind of relied on third gear a little bit too much. Medium tyres are holding it together really quite well. Softs would have been good as well, I think. Yeah, no radar on the radar. No rain on the radar. No radar on the rain. Bit rough. Is that him just making the turn at the end? It is. There he goes. So Beauvoir in the Mercedes is just making gains. Fraga's gone in on softs. Portilla's gone in for fuel on hards. And rain has appeared. Top right hand corner of the rain radar. It is there. Doesn't look like anybody's gone in for tyres. It's purely, well, I mean, to change to wets. Got a funny feeling Fraga will be coming out on his softs. That rain doesn't seem to be fast approaching. Now is the time to start to really capitalise. That rain's backed off. That rain doesn't look like it's coming. Like we're in for a little bit of fun. A night without rain. Oh, we just ran off the circuit there. We might pick up a penalty. That might be a stop go there. It's just a half a second lift. I think the lift penalty will be down the bottom of the circuit here. Not going to impact us greatly. Lose the purple lap though. Impacts this acceleration. 4.7 seconds behind Mr. Beauvoir, and no rain on the radar. It's now backed well away. Beauvoir went to the pits on medium tyres for fuel. We now have rain again on the radar. Whole north-south divide thing coming in from the right hand side, so from the same direction. Big wall of weather on lap 10. We've got a fair bit of fuel remaining. I think we'll be good for a few laps. We'll watch that rain come in, and we're now in first place. Beauvoir in second, but in the pits. Bishop third, Yamanaka fourth, Cookab in fifth, Miazano sixth, Mr. Wilkins seventh, and Mendoza in eighth. None of the real big players at the front of the pack now. The usual big regular names. Beauvoir is in, 99% of fuel, still on the medium tyres. So Beauvoir comes out in third place. Quite some lead with the pack, that's decent. We're just going to keep rolling until we feel the need. Fuel could be the issue. Could be an issue. With 32 seconds in the lead at this point. Almost getting to a whole pit stop ahead lead. Just inside the fastest possible. Had a couple of little mistakes earlier in the lap, so see if we can improve on things. We're not going to know till we get to the line, I don't think. No other timing lines. .15.8, so half a second down. We roll around that corner just a little bit too wide. Carried a little bit too much speed, but 30 seconds in the lead, no major threat. Yamanaka's made his way past Beauvoir. Up into third place for Yamanaka. Bishop still in the Ferrari 458. Still pushing second place. That's a great effort. Is he possibly going into the pits? Like he's slow enough to be. Yes, he has. He's gone to the pits. It's a 10th down at this point. Beauvoir back into second. Yamanaka up to well, he's in third. He's down to third is the point. So, like Beauvoir made the pass going through the chicane. So good battling behind us. 44 seconds in the lead. Now I can see the rain coming. I'm just gonna. We've got 2.5 laps of fuel, so I'm gonna try and run all the way to the end of this fuel. No DRS at this time, just gonna got a chance to run. Really need extra speed at this point. We're just gonna keep the laps consistent. Same similar sort of time gap. Tyre's about 40% done. Pit stop time will come at the right time for our tyres. Keep them optimal. Get across the line. One more lap before the big heavy stuff comes in. And we'll be on to potentially wets, I think. Maybe inters. Inters might do it. A fair bit of downforce if we're not using DRS, so the inters are the tyre to go to. Purely because we know inters are a good tyre now. Since update 1.49, we used to rely on wets tremendously. The inters should help us. The rain will be with us before the end of the straight, I expect. Start to see it coming down. Half a second up on the purple time. We won't be setting any records this lap purely because we'll be going to the pits. Solis goes to the pits as well. No real rain coming down just as yet. Can't see any water on the track. A little bit loath to get in and go to the pits just yet. Might run that extra lap of fuel. Just as a little bit of a risk, and then we're in a situation where we need to either, or we definitely need to pit for fuel, And then it's whether we're going to go for medium tyre. Oh, sorry, medium tyre or a wet weather tyre. At this point, that rain is not really threatening. I think it's a big risk. I think we need to do this one more lap and see what happens. Put off the inevitable. We've made that choice now. 50 seconds in the lead. We're going to see if anybody else is going to go to the pits. Back off the DRS just a little bit. Now I can feel the rain. We can see the rain on the track. Might have left this just one lap too late. We might have talked ourselves out of it. Track has still got grip though as we come through there now. DRS on the straight. Then we're gonna be hitting the big rain and then we're going in for the tyres. 52 seconds in the lead. Nobody else has gone in just yet, but they haven't arrived at the pits. See the rain on the track bouncing in front of us. We can see it in the air. So Beauvoir's in. Might get an indicator of what tyres he's going to. We're just coming up to lap the first cars. That's tremendous. Yamanaka's in. Intermediates are the tyre of choice now, and we know that because of the rainwater depth gauge. Rain has gone above the first line. That depth gauge is just there. These intermediate tyres are doing really well at this point. So we have lots of downforce. No DRS currently. Front's just washed out. Oh, we're into the gravel. Made the mistake of running one lap too long. Rain really has come in, but the rain's going to back off just a little bit now as we come out of there. The rain's going to ease off and the track should just dry up a teeny bit. But we are going to have to go to inters, I think, because we have got rain in the future. We can see it. Get into the pits. We didn't lose a massive amount of time for that. Oh, we have to come all the way back. Blue flags. Hitting the lap earlier would have been the ideal choice. Inters then it is. Take all the fuel while I just fill up myself a bit of a refresh. I kind of anticipate everybody's gone in. We're 1 minute 38 ahead. Take all the fuel. This will be a fast fill up. Everybody's in and out the pits. We're the last one to leave. We are X amount ahead. Can't see the rainwater gauge at this point. We've just had to choose to do what we've chosen to do. Have to look to be a little bit steady. Come out the pits here, make sure we've got grip. You don't want to cross these white lines because that will give you penalties for crossing pit lane lines. So we're coming to the end of the rain. We needed these inters. These inters will help us in the drying line. Actually almost halfway through the race. Could have potentially done a one-stop medium if there was no rain. No DRS requirements on this lap, as you can tell from the back end of the car. That's why we have counter steer and traction control on. And run the outside line a little bit. We'll get more grip on the outside line. In the wet, beautiful pass. Wet weather tyres, these Inters are really coping with it quite well. On the wide line again, so that we don't slip about quite so much. You can at this point, if you want to, put the racing line on. You know not where to drive. So the fastest line in the wet is just outside the racing line, where there is rubber on the racing line in a normal conditions. That area becomes extremely slippery. It forms a barrier between your tyres and the track surface. We have another car in front, another 3 cars in front. It's going to start to lap cars as it is, nicely round the outside, using the increased grip of the non-racing line. Pull over to the left and pick up traction just as we come to the end of the race. Oh, we get a bump from the right hand side. I thought we'd cleared him. Just got monitors decided to turn off. We'll fix that. Obviously been on my machine 4 hours. So this one's done it. That's all the monitors fixed. Rain clouds are now passing away, middle of the night. We're now anticipating the morning coming rather quickly. Rain isn't clearing from the track very quickly, I must admit. There is coming down on the racing line. I would estimate that the faster the time configuration on the race, the quicker the rain will dissipate. So this race is based on 24 hours, so 24 hours and an hour, times 24 will be the setting. So the rain is going to clear quite quickly. Had to have a little lift of the throttle there. Mr. Bishop ahead of us. He was up in second place not so long ago, look. Obviously out of sync with pit stops. Oh, there was a slide there from Mr. Bishop, wasn't there? He made a pass of 2 of them. This car is exceptional in the wet. Really good grip. Let's see if we've got some significant racing drying line appearing. I can't see it. Can't see a massive dry line. Oh, going for a gap that doesn't exist. It does now. Into 6th gear as the rain is now teetering off the left-hand edge of the rain radar, 1 minute and 5 seconds ahead of Beauvoir, so about half a lap ahead of second place, which is probably what it was when we think back to before the rain started, back to where the pit stops have evened things out. We've both done, we might have done 2 stops now, to be honest, but one's for fuel and then one's for tyres. We'll start watching these tyres and see how they're coping with the drying conditions. Front tyres will start to wear quite quickly as they're going to heat up. And then the racing line again becomes favourable because the water is dissipating. Been a long time since we've done Spa, you know, as a grind. Since way before we did Le Mans back in June, so that would be April, May out. It's probably March, maybe 6 months ago that we did Spa race. This is good fun though. Enjoying this. A little different. There's the sunrise beginning in the morning. Just see the sun starting to show its rays above the hills and trees. Sounded like a bit of a song on the way there, but we'll spare you that pain this morning. These intermediate tyres gonna do. Like to spin up, keep them in the wet, try and keep them dry. Sorry, keep them grippy. If we stay in the dry, they'll all burn the rubber up. Ooh, yeah, probably get a penalty for that. Might be lucky if we kept it on the yellow and reds. No, we didn't. We got a bit of a penalty there. That's the definite indicator that the grip is ebbing away from these tyres. What we know is we don't need to pit for fuel. We only need to pit for tyres, and probably now going to be the time to change them up. Question is do we have any more rain on the radar? Nobody else seems to have gone in. Take the wets off. They all went to full wets, I think. We're going to go and drop back to probably best to go softs. Let's take a set of softs. Let's pit in now. Take softs and no fuel. See if we can make some improvements. As the morning light rises, the track lighting has gone off. Headlights are still on. We've only done 2 laps. This is lap 3 after the pit stop, so take those tyres. Capitalise where we can. Plenty wide enough on the dry line. Tyres are starting to suffer. Be wet through here though. Not quite as well used as the racing line. Portilla was on intermediate, so he's in ahead of us. We'll take softs 8.5 laps. Probably going to take a little bit more fuel. Probably. Probably going to take the next chunk. So if we can do that, that'll guarantee us to the end. We'll go a little bit faster. We'll probably burn a little bit more fuel, but that'll get us there. We're only 1.2 laps, one lap short, I would have thought, at the end. There we go. Massive looking car. Big wang on the rear. Just have to take it a little steady coming out of here on the slick tyres. More cars coming up the hill behind us. Oh, and there's more rain coming in from the right hand side. That is just unfortunate. Will they know that that's coming? busher on our right gives us a nudge. Bouvoir goes in off the inters. He's not looking towards the rain. I'm hoping these softs would take us all the way to the end. And when it's 23 ahead of Bouvoir. At the moment, the rain doesn't look tremendous. What it does look like it's going to do, though, is just top the water up that's on the track now. Yellow flag ahead. What's the yellow flag for? Overtaking is prohibited. Is that the Corvette? Yes, the Corvette had gone off the track. Corvette's gone off again. Corvette spun off around the corner. My assumption is his tyres were done. Rain is definitely coming, but we don't know how heavy. Rain isn't tremendous at all. Look at it. It's just going to be a fleeting blow by. So let's see if these tyres will make it through. We'll have good grip. Just depends what it's like on the track surface and whether it continues to chunder down. We don't expect it to. Car's just about to roll 900 miles under my drivership. There it is, 900 miles has just rolled. Just caught that. Counter steer helped us tremendously there. The Yamanaka. Don't really want to go around the outside of you, but oh, you've gone to leave us some sort of room that you didn't want to leave us. Well done. So the rain cover is starting. And what's going to come behind it? 17 minutes remaining of the race. Fastest lap of the race is ours at 2:15.357. I don't know what would have happened if we'd stayed out in the inters. Seems to be a massive amount of rain. People are coming in off inters. What they're going to put on. Rain is not tremendous at all. It just looks like light cloud cover. Mr. Fraga. Oh, spins and slides. Oh, we almost spun it. Made it round there beautifully. We didn't have much of a choice though, did we? We were fully committed. They're all going in. They're all waiting for the rain. So we made the early choice and we did well. So Bouvoir 127 behind. Mirzano in third. Rubelard in the pits. Hizal in the pits. Solis in the pits. Portilla in the pits. Bishop in the pits. There we have it. We can see them coming out the pits there now. There they go. We've got them. We've lapped up to fourth place. Doing good. We are not suffering or struggling at all here. Biggest rain threat has passed through. Now we've got another one lining itself up. No major No major damage looking to be done. Track on the racing line is virtually 100% dry, so these tyres are absolutely pushing on. Rolling off the dry line onto the wet line. It's a bit more luck than judgment. Just allowing the car to run where it wants to run. Steering wheel's quite heavy, so force feedback is telling me where it wants to go to rather than me telling it where it needs to go to. Oh, my steering wheel's bugged out. Just unfortunate, isn't it? Would have to do that, wouldn't it? So we've got engine damage. We've got front left wheel damage and front splitter. The speed is reduced. Beauvoir and Miazano have gone in to collect their tyres. Well, that's fortunate. We would be making massive inroads into them. There we go, their damage is cleared, so we'll get back up to pace. Typical of my wheel to trip out when it wants to. Still no clearer to sorting that out. Waiting on, well, Fanatec no longer exists, does it? We're waiting on Corsair to fix that. The one thing we do know, though, is Corsair have brought out a number of brands. Another brand that I do like is Elgato. I use it for my streaming software. I use it for the Stream Deck, so I can switch between channels. I have a Stream Deck just down here. Corsair bought Elgato, and they remain as Elgato. So what we hope to see is the Fanatec name remain in the business, remain in the platform, remain in the game. We'll hopefully see Fanatec blossom and grow under new leadership. The leaders of Fanatec now are completely different people. Thomas Giacomeyer, who used to own the company and brought the company up from it was his brainchild, was his baby. He's no longer involved in the company at all. The company was liquidated to shareholders, of which he was something like 48% shareholder. I'm correct in saying so. It could be a misquote that, but that's what I felt. His shares are now worthless. And Fanatec are now owned by Corsair. I believe it was the 13th that all happened. And all staff contracts were changed over to Corsair. And as it seems, everybody has a job, which is a phenomenal and fantastic news for those people. My relations and understanding with those people is nobody personally at Fanatec has had a problem with anything I've done or said, or I've not had a problem with anything they've done or said. The organisation hasn't done the things that I've wanted them to do, so nothing we can do about that. It's the way it was, and all we can do now is look to the future and wish and hope Fanatec all the best. We know people are still buying their product. It is ultimately great product. I just seem to have one of the products that's got a bug. It's been far from being fixed for a long time. So enough said about the Fanatec situation. Let's concentrate on the race and where we are. Not really using DRS at this point. Probably should do. It gives a little bit of pace down the straight. We've got no time back to Beauvoir. Rubelart and Hizal are in the pits as we make a slingshot past Miazano. Back on the old DRS as we go back up the hill in 6th gear. A little bit of rain coming through. You can hear it on the car. You can see it on the road as we're driving along, but it's not going to have a massive impact on the track surface. We're on lap 21. No time difference back to the second place car, we can only assume that we are somewhere near to having lapped them or being lapped. Maybe they're still ahead of us. We've got to wait for them to get to the finish line for it to give us the time. These tyres look like they're going to make it to the end of the race quite easily. 10 minutes remaining. We've had them on for about 10 minutes. A little bit more rain coming down. I'd be loath to put on a new set of tyres. Might be a situation sometimes where you just need to drive through, say don't change tyres, don't take fuel. You'll pull into the pit box and just drive straight through. Which sometimes is enough just to let the rain pass and you're in the pit lane with no real problems because the car's not under your control. So, lap times are coming down. See the difference there, 235 to 217. That 235 was caused by our wheel bugging. Oh, the track is a little bit damp here, look. Almost intermediates to the preferred tyre again. Made it just past the pit exit before Ordonez came out. That's that rain band disappeared and past us now. Still good on these soft tyres. Trying to think, oof, what's up Mr. Lopez? Mr. Portilla was on the hards on 58 fuel. What's he going for? What is he going to put on? I'm anticipating he'd go for a set of softs to get him to the end. 8 minutes remaining, that's going to be the best part of 3.5, 4 laps. Lots of people going in. What tyres are they going to change to? Are they seeing the wet and thinking intermediates of the tyre? They'll be back in to change them next lap, surely. Oh, that's just massive advantage to us. Is that Beauvoir ahead of us? Are we about to lap Beauvoir? Should be using... It's a blue car. Could be Miyazano, Subaru. It's not, it's Beauvoir. We're about to put him a lap down. Still just that little bit wet. I think he knows it too. All those guys in the pits putting intermediates on, they are thinking inters, just as they don't realise the track is just drying out. We're going to go around the outside, lapping Mr. Beauvoir, breaking into the corner. Don't go to the pits, you don't need them. They have gone in, pre-programmed AI. Oh, shocker. Oh, 7 minutes remaining. And they're going to go back in and they're going to pit again, aren't they, at the end of the lap to take those tyres off. We've got enough fuel here to last us the 6 minutes. Mr. Yamanaka goes through. Who's this? It's Mr. Fraga in 10th place. Just on a set of inters, I bet. He's going to be kicking and fuming. Half a second quicker, so we're back up to speed from before the rain. We wobbled a little bit there because we ran a little bit wide. Really want to go in for another set of tyres. Quite happy to let the AI just continually pit to change tyres because they don't know what they're doing. This makes it so much easier when we're grinding and winning races. 1.5 million for 1 hour's work. if you were to run it multiple times at Tokyo, you could probably earn more money, but you would be having to grind for 4 or 5 hours at a time to make it worth it. Thing is, because we're running a full hour here, can't run one race every hour. You're going to have a little bit of time differential, maybe 2 or 3 minutes, because you're going to need to take a moment's break, maybe grab some food, and back at it with the grind. But it's a great little race, this, with a little variation each one. It just makes it different. Change the car as much as you can. That's why I'm making these videos, to give you examples of really decent cars that you can take to the grind, and alternate configurations that will help you out. It'd be nice to be able to use every car. If you've got to buy every car to complete the collection, why don't you make them all raceable? Actually use them all. 4.5 minutes left, so 2 laps. This one on one more. Tyres will completely make that. Beauvoir has now lapsed out to Miazano. Miazano has come through and taken second place. We're going to have to watch that to see how much that's going to change. Whether that's going to change again before the end of the race would be interesting to know. Tiller is sat in 4th place in the Viper. The Bishop in the 458 in 5th. Mr. Rubelard in the BMW is in 6th. Mr. Hazal in the Subaru in 7th. Mr. Solis in the 4C is doing well up there in 8th. Fastest lap of the race is ours at 2:15.357. Our last lap was at 2:15.942. That's where we impacted the wall there. You can still see our tracks in the gravel. A whole second down on the fastest lap here. 16 something, 2:16.3 maybe. Two minutes 30 remaining, so it's going to be 2 more laps for us, or we just casually coast to a slower lap and finish the race in the pits. Maybe we pit in and finish the race in the pits. Maybe. Depends where we pass the start finish line. I don't usually like to do that. I usually like to drive it to the end, so everybody's going in for the intermediate tyres. Going to take those inters off. We're going to change again. Going to put their last lap in. We've got the fuel to do it. 2.3 laps left. Just took that extra lap, didn't we, whilst we were in the pits, which was enough. Beauvoir and Miazano now into the pits to change their tyres. Tyres are looking beautifully even on wear. Not a massive difference between any tyre at all. A very well set up car. Easy to drive, easy to control. It likes to go. You've got that DRS button that you can use as you see fit. Don't always use it. We're 3 seconds slower a lap, but it's cruising really. don't have to take any risks as Beauvoir and Miazano now head out of the pits. You can see them up in the map in the top right hand corner. Portilla's going in, coming off his inters. Got 25 seconds till the race finishes. We're going to cross the line. As it is, we're going to come round and be the last finisher. So we're going to take the plaudits as the last car on the track. This is going to be our 8 seconds remaining as we cross the line. This is going to be our victory lap. We can wave to the crowd as we go round. Give them the acknowledgement that they need. They've sat through the 24 hours as well as we have. In effect, we had our 3 drivers. We stopped twice. We allowed for driver changes. Looper, looper. Tyre wear is just starting to affect the tyres and the grip. So Rubbelar, Hizal and Fraga have now crossed the line. Records being set on this final lap. Coming across the line now, any of those leaders, Portilla and Bishop maybe. Oh, yeah, a much closer race than we anticipated in for second and third. Beauvoir has made that overtake on Miazano. Beauvoir now finishes in second place. He was the first one to make it to the line. Miazano's crossed the line. Just Portilla and Bishop are in front of us. I think that race is pretty close in front of us. They're going to be just entering. Well, they might be behind us. No, I don't think. Ah, we're just about to run out of fuel. That's Ordinaires in front of us. So Portilla and Bishop are behind us. Not to worry, we come across the line to finish the race. That last lap of 2:19. There she is, a little bit dirty, a little bit scuffed. Yeah, what a great car. There you have it, the World Touring Car 800 at Spa. It's an hour and 2 minutes. We were 2 laps ahead of Beauvoir and Miazano. One because we lapped them, and the second one we completed the extra lap. We got the fastest lap of the race on lap 6 on medium tyres, a 2:15.357. And Ordinaires there at the end. And Gallo, quite a few of them actually lapped on 3 laps down. See what we do. Did we get enough to get that clean race bonus? We do. 1.5 million credits in an hour. There you have it, folks. Waiter 85 million credits. And a 3-star ticket for the day. Just enough to keep ticking along. Now, if you are... Can't really talk about what we're doing tonight because you'll see this video much later than this. But there you have it, folks. There's another option for your grind at Spa. I'd like to hear your thoughts and comments. We'll see you on the next one. All the best, folks. Take care. Goodbye for now.